Hello, everybody. It is Blind Metal Gamer here with you once again, and it is now time for another live discussion where we will be discussing tonight the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, which will be taking place tomorrow, April 2nd, 2025. I want to talk about this because, this is a brand new thing. They're entering, I believe, the 10th generation of consoles. Oh my god. Yeah, the 10th generation will be beginning with the Nintendo Switch 2, and um, I want to talk tonight about what we could possibly see as far as not only just games, but I want to talk a little bit about accessibility as well, because as you know, accessibility is one of my passions. Ever since, like I said, I've lost my vision, I've been a big advocate for video game accessibility and making these things more accessible for blind and low vision folks. And as you know, Nintendo, their track record isn't the greatest in terms of accessibility. So I want to talk tonight about what we can see game wise, feature wise, accessibility feature wise, and what I think as far as a cost for the Switch 2 and things like that. So, so I'm going to start off by talking about what we know, and um, what we know is um, the Switch 2. They're going to talk about it tomorrow. It's been revealed already. Um, we know that, well, right now we don't know much. So we don't know much about it. So we've seen the design of it. There's a C button on the Joy Cons. We don't know what that C button is. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But what I want to touch on first is um, accessibility. I want to talk about accessibility first because that's something I'm passionate about. Now, as far as that goes, here's what I would hope to see. I probably will not pick up a Switch 2 because I don't have enough space for multiple consoles in my home, so I've got to just pick one and go with it. So we know it's going to be portable. We know it's going to be have that functionality. We know it'll be backwards compatible. We know it'll be backwards compatible. We know it'll be all that. But as far as accessibility, we don't know what they're going to bring to the table. One thing I would want to see, and I know I scream this to the heavens, give that console a built-in screen reader. Make it accessible for blind and low vision folks right out of the gate in that aspect. I mean, because come on, if this is done, hey Allison, what's up? Welcome to tonight's discussion. We're talking about the Switch 2 and what we could possibly see at tomorrow's Nintendo Direct. Hey Sarah, my day was good. Um, just talking about the Nintendo Direct. So, okay, back to accessibility. A full blown screen reader. Definitely got to have that. We have to have, again, large text. We need to have contrast options. There needs to be, no, sorry, Mikoski, I don't. But we're not talking about that tonight. We're talking about the Nintendo Switch Direct. So if you could please stay on topic, that would be a great thing. So, okay, we're talking about the accessibility of the Nintendo Switch 2. Um, As far as accessibility, okay, screen reader. I'm not talking about just a basic screen reader. I'm talking full blown, just like the PlayStation has, just like the Xbox Series X has, just like the PS5 has. I mean, Nintendo, come on, you gotta wake up here. Blind and low vision players want to play your system. You know, and now I'm not only going to talk about this from a disability accessibility standpoint. I'm talking about accessibility from a content creator standpoint. Okay, let's say, you got the screen reader, you have all that in there, and let's say you want to do some live streaming of your gameplay on YouTube. I know for years, Nintendo would throw a fit. They would throw a bitch fit if you put any of their games up on YouTube. Oh my God, we're going to take them down. We're going to use a DMCA takedown and make them all get around. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Um, as far as that goes, uh, uh, what I'm hoping for is um, that C button. There's a C button on the controller. I hope that C button is for creation. So, for example, what I'm envisioning here in my mind, you hit the C button, boom, a menu will pop up. Do you want to record the footage or stream it? If you hit broadcast or stream, you should be able to connect your Twitch, your YouTube, to the Switch 2, connect that, boom, you can stream your gameplay right to YouTube or Twitch, no problem at all. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, as far as other disability accessibility, there needs to be colorblind options, not just filters, but I'm talking full on customization of colors of text, the size of text, um, the background opacity, and all that good stuff. Now, as far as um, games, what do we hope to see? So, what do we hope to see as far as games? I've talked about accessibility. I'm going to talk about games next. Now, as far as games, I want to see hopefully a new Legend of Zelda game. Maybe if the Switch does get or the Switch 2 does get a screen reader, maybe they'll actually use that screen reader on every one of their games. I mean, come on, Nintendo. This is your chance to really open up the gates as far as accessibility and content creation. So, maybe they'll actually wake up and say, "Oh my God, we're gonna get a screen reader and we're gonna use it." Now I know we're getting a new Mario. There's gonna be a new Mario Kart for the Switch or the Switch 2. Um, I remember Mario Kart when I was growing up, and um, I remember Mario Kart on the N64, Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. But I never, played Mario Kart on the Wii or the Switch. Now, this new Mario Kart, from what was described to me, is going to look a lot better. It's going to have, the bouncy mushrooms and all that good stuff. Now, as far as the screen reader aspect, if they would give the Switch a screen reader and let the developer, and if let's say Nintendo develops all their games in house, which they do, use that screen reader, Nintendo. This is a chance to really be innovative in terms of accessibility, blind accessibility. I mean, come on, get that screen reader and use it to its fullest potential on every in-house game you make, from the Mario's to the Zeldas to the whatevers. Use that screen reader and make these accessible for the blind and visually impaired. Now, on a game-by-game basis, how could a Switch 2 game be accessible? And I'm going to focus on in-house here because third-party development's a lot different. You have to educate the developers. And granted, Nintendo needs education too on this. But I want to focus on in-house because let's just assume, let's think hypothetical and say, okay, they get the screen reader and they're going to use it. Let's say they come up with a way for navigational assist or audio cues for some of their games. They could use that for games like The Legend of Zelda, Mario Kart, whatever the new Super Mario World's going to be. You know, all these 3D games. Let's see, they could do a lot of different things. You know, they could incorporate a lot of these system level features in their games. And they could really make this an accessible console, the first accessible handheld, if you or portable. Now, as far as um, first party, we're probably going to see a new Zelda, the new Mario Kart, maybe a Super Mario World, maybe another 1-2 Switch sequel, maybe another ARMS sequel. Um, you know, there was a game called Astral Chain that looked pretty badass on the Switch. They might follow up to that. That was a Platinum Games deal, so that might be a third party thing. Now, as far as third party, I'm hoping we'll see a new Castlevania multi-platform revealed tomorrow. I hope that we see, because I know Castlevania is synonymous with Nintendo back in the day, so they could bring that out. They'll probably do a lot of porting, like of all the Resident Evils, maybe the Final Fantasy. If Mortal Kombat 1 gets a port over to the Switch 2, I'm talking the Chaos Reigns edition. Alexa, Alexa, sorry. All right, had to get that out of there. Anyway, um, as far as okay, if Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns gets ported over to the Switch 2, right? If they give the system a screen reader they need, the NRS needs to take advantage of it and use it. Give that version the same accessibility that the PS5 and Xbox Series X has. As far as the pricing, I'm thinking the new Switch might be between $400 and $500 USD. I'm thinking it might be about $400 and $500 out the gate, because if what they're going to be doing with it is true, so you know, maybe I'm thinking maybe 400 or 500. Maybe that would be my estimated price. But if I had to go from lowest to high, I would say uh, 400 at the lowest. I would say 550 at the highest. Um, I know the PS5 Pro is an ungodly $700, but again, with inflation or other factors, I don't know how much cost will be. They'll probably reveal all that tomorrow. What I'm really anticipating is the accessibility piece and what they're going to do with that. As far as third party games, we'll probably see a bunch of Konami stuff, a bunch of Capcom stuff. Maybe the new Streets of Rage from Sega. I'm hoping they'll reveal that. I'm hoping that they'll reveal maybe the new Golden Axe as well, because we have yet to hear from those folks on those games. Who knows? They might put Slade the Princess on Switch 2, or they might port the new Doom the Dark Ages to Switch 2. I mean, there's a lot we don't know yet. So, I mean, there's a whole lot that we don't know. We'll know tomorrow, but, I'm just speculating here and thinking of what we could see. I mean, I'm just anticipating what we could see tomorrow. Like I said, I probably won't be watching. I'm probably going to be doing other things during that time. But I'm sure other great YouTubers like Illegally Cited and Steve Sandler will catch the Nintendo Direct and let us know what's up. And as far as third party, hell, maybe Ubisoft might port Assassin's Creed Shadows to the Switch too. You never know. I mean, I'm like I said, just speculating. As far as accessibility, I was talking about that. Now I want to talk about content creation. I was talking about that C button earlier. Maybe that C button could be used for, it's either going to be used for casting or creation. I'm hoping it's used for creation. You hit the C button on the controller. You get the option to either record or broadcast. If you hit the option to record, it's obviously self-explanatory. You record your gameplay. If you want to broadcast, you hit broadcast, and again, you should be able to link your Twitch and your YouTube to it. I'm hoping Nintendo will support YouTube and Twitch because it'll get more people to watch. Hell, what would be interesting is if Nintendo supported Restream or a form of restreaming so you could stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. They probably won't do that. It'll probably be a situation where if they do have streaming from the console, you have to pick A or B, just like on Sony's console. So that's what they're probably going to end up doing with that. So here's what I'm thinking of in my mind. If they have it where you can stream, you should pick, be able to link your Twitch and YouTube. And if they make you pick, you pick your platform, enter your title and all that, and you do your thing. Now, if they were to do something that would allow for restreaming or simulcasting, that would be even better because then you could just simulcast to both and you're good to go. You know what I mean? Um, so there's that. As far as uh, you know, creation, of course, a photo mode. They probably have a screenshot mode. But Nintendo, come on, if you're watching this, I'm asking you, man, please take accessibility seriously and take the content creation seriously because there are content creators that want to stream your games. There's blind and low vision players that want to play your games. Hell, if I knew, let's say in a hypothetical world, let's say I didn't have a console, and let's say I knew the Switch 2 was coming, let's say holiday 2025. I'm going to go on and call it right now. The Switch 2 will be released holiday 2025, or at the earliest 2026. So either at the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026 for the release. Now, um, as far as what to expect, if let's say I knew that I could pick up these games and stream them directly to YouTube, and let's say I knew that the Switch 2 would have a built-in screen reader, I'm talking for the entire system. And let's say I knew that if I were to buy a Nintendo game, a Nintendo developed game, that game would take full advantage of that screen reader and other accessibility features within the Switch 2. That way I would know as a blind gamer what I'm getting. Now, as far as the eShop, the Nintendo eShop, here's what I would hope they would do as far as, again, if it does have a screen reader, it needs to read all the game information, the title, the price, the description of the game, the rating information, things like that, just like Sony's console does. And but what I would love to see Nintendo do is kind of similar to what Sony and PlayStation does. When you hit it's the triangle button on PlayStation. It could be a button on the Joy-Con, maybe the Y or the whatever button. It would bring up the accessibility features of each game. That's a good thing because that way you know what you're getting, and whatever game you get, if it's not going to have what you need, you don't got to buy it. So that's a plus right there. That would be a plus if Nintendo would do that. I don't see them really focusing on accessibility during this direct. They're probably just going to focus on the Switch 2 itself, the games, whatever that C button is. Um, hey viewer, what's up? Welcome. So yeah, they're probably going to focus on the console itself, the features, the games, the cost, the release date. I don't see them focusing on accessibility, but I hope that they will reassure disabled gamers and blind and low vision players what accessibility is there and if it will have a screen reader. Um, that's what I'm hoping for. Will we know? Not till tomorrow. So, like I said, I'll be giving my thoughts and my analysis when I get to either hear the direct or get a reaction or get some info on what they showed. So, again, so I want to ask a question to you guys in the chat. What do you all want to see out of tomorrow's direct? Do you want to see more of a focus on accessibility, the games, the content, the creation? I want to see everything. I want to see all that. Plus, I want to know how much it's going to cost if I were to buy it. I want to know, okay, when's it coming out? What am I going to get with it? What am I going to get as a content creator? What am I going to get in terms of accessibility? Because if it's, I'm telling you right now, if the system is not even going to be accessible, I'm not going to consider it. And I've not owned, this is why I didn't support Nintendo Switch. Hey, viewer. So that's why I didn't buy a Nintendo Switch. Or did I buy a Nintendo Wii or a Wii U? I went with PlayStation, and when PS5 came out, I went with PS5 because I knew it was going to have good accessibility. I mean, come on. Um, Nintendo is not impressed as far as accessibility. And I'll be very blunt, it pisses me off because come on, as a gamer, I would love to be able to get back into The Legend of Zelda and do another Zelda playthrough if it's blind accessible. I would love for more options for streaming and whatnot. Um, in terms of that, I would love to, let's say, get a Switch 2 in a hypothetical world, get a Switch 2, be able to stream it via Wi-Fi to YouTube, no Ethernet required, none of that. Just be able to get on that Wi-Fi and do your thing. So that would be my dream. I mean, that would be the dream of mine, where it would be fully accessible, fully functional, and I would love to see as far as new features, built-in like support for a USB mic. That way you can plug in your headphone jack with your mic. You don't got to use any third-party app for voice chat. None of that. Because I know on the original Switch they had voice chat, but you had to download an iPhone app and all this, and it was really tedious. So I'm hoping that they will forego that. You just plug, and it would be just like on the PlayStation or the Xbox. You plug that boy in, you're good to go. But will they do that? I doubt it. They're probably going to come up with some gimmick to make you either buy more money, buy into the Nintendo Online service, or download another app. Now, I'm hoping that the Nintendo Online will still be affordable for folks because I would love, knowing my luck, knowing my luck, the Switch 2 is probably going to mean an increase in the online services fee. So for that Nintendo Online membership, they're probably going to go from 20 a month or a year to like 50 or 60 a year to compete with Sony and Microsoft. Just watch. That's what they're probably going to end up doing, all thanks to inflation and other factors. Now, as far as um, what to see tomorrow, we know we're going to see a new Mario game. I'm pretty sure they're going to give us a new Mario game, a new Zelda, stuff like that. But to be honest, we're going to have to just be patient and see, folks. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I pretty much said all I'm going to say. I think that there's going to be a lot more after tomorrow, so I'll probably do another one of these maybe early next week and give my thoughts and my input on this. So, oh my God. with that being said, I'm going to wrap up. I hope everybody enjoyed this discussion on the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I hope everybody, you know, enjoys it. And if you want, let's have a conversation in the comments. Let's have a conversation about this. So we really don't know what's going to happen. Hey, viewer, what's up? So, yeah, I pretty much said what I'm going to say about the Direct. So I'll come back with more and we'll talk next week about this after we know more. So, with that being said, if you like what you're seeing, you want more, hit that subscribe button. Also, I want to let everybody know there will be new content premiering and there will be live gaming on the YouTube channel again. There's going to be more Mortal Kombat 1, more Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and a bunch of other cool stuff. So, with that being said, as always, feel free to drop on by, tune in, drop out, and enjoy the great content here live. And with that being said, I'm going to get out, and I hope you all have a good one. I'll see you all on the next one. Again, I'll be back next week with another discussion on this. So with that being said, I've been your host, Blind Metal Gamer, saying, so long everyone, stay metal, and peace out.